top end commercials. Like they're hundreds of thousands of dollars. They really are. So,
Crazy.
my experience isn't in those big things. My experience is just making good general branding and all retail ads. So and my favourite ads are the ones that you shoot on location because it's a lot easier to go and shoot an ad than make an ad out of nothing off graphics, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
So,
But did you? Okay, but when I first met you on that first Titan shoot, what was your position then? Like what? I looked at your business card the other day. Are you the head of? Can you say that here? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
when I always say to other people now, I say, Jenny for one is the coolest person, one of my mates. Like, and when I first met her, she was sort of like the somewhat of a new girl in the studio, but now she's at the head of this whole department up there.
Yeah.
And how cool is that?
Well, it is pretty cool, and to be running the department for someone like Channel 9 and be the head of commercial production is a pretty cool achievement. But, and I guess when I met you, I was just starting out directing things properly because I actually started in TV in Newcastle at NBN television in publicity and promotions. And, and then I worked my way up there as far as I could for 7 years there. And then I went up to 9 and I didn't know a single thing about commercial production, but I was actually good at writing stuff and good at laying out text. So that team of people back then was 13 staff, and I was like the little secretary. And I didn't even know what a Betacam tape was, let alone back then they were shooting things on U-Matic and BVU and 1-inch and 2-inch tape and all that stuff.
That's cool. All right, we'll pause.
Yeah, and yeah.
No, we'll pause on that. We'll come back straight to that point. So we just had a break there. The nice stove.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rangewood.
I have to read the instructions later.
It was pretty funny that you noticed the lighting. It was.
I
you
kind of looked at it and it's like, well, why is the lighting running around the splashback wall when that's not where you cook?
Yeah,
I don't
but only
understand.
you would really understand that, or the next lighting guy.
Yeah, well, it's a bit like noticing spelling mistakes on TV ads. That just really gives me poops. Yeah.
You know what I did yesterday? The sign shop. No, forget that story.
Erase that.
Yeah, wrong. It was a spelling mistake. And we printed 1,000 stickers.
Oh God, I know.
Anyway, I'll cut that out. But
there's nothing worse though, is there?
No. All right, Jen. We started this. Yeah, we just had a pause, and now we're back into it. We started the last one with drinking coconut water. Let's crack open this other drink.
Oh, okay. All right.
I need to. All right, what do we got here? It's Butchie. Kefir.
Kombucha.
Raw organic local kefir ginger from Wacol in Brisbane, hey? All right, that's why I got it.
Okay.
Something local, and I'm going to see what this is all about. It's one of these big glass bottles. It's actually, whoa, hear that? It's got a bit of...
Oh, it's effervescent.
Effervescent.
Oh,
crikey.
If we could see your face, you were just like, oh, that was hard.
This is what it is. It's like ginger ale, but with no sweet stuff.
Yeah, because I'm leaking. Oh, leakage. Gonna have to pause, Drewy.
I'll wipe that up.
Stand by. I have to wipe this up.
Oh really? Oh, yeah.
I know, I'm leaking. I can't drink it. You know what? We should try that with some Bundy with a bit of Appleton rum. Yeah.
I actually get fired up on rum. I'm one of those people.
Oh, do you?
I can just get my temperature rises. You right?
Temperature's rising.
All right, so Jen, we're back. Now, yeah, what you were kind of saying before is still on the. How did you get it? It's on the top of my mind. I've never actually asked you before properly. What was the one moment where you went to working in it's kind of a dream job in anyone's mind, like be it radio or TV. It's up there with one of the big things that, I want to be a astronaut, like a race car driver on TV or radio.
Well, it's funny. I actually I wanted to be a sign writer.
Cool.
And so when I was a young girl, I went and did the whole pre-apprenticeship painting, decorating and sign writing course because I was really into art. And that was all well and good, but then I couldn't get a job or an apprenticeship because they weren't employing women because they didn't have toilet facilities on remote work sites for girls.
Wow.
So I couldn't get a job at that. So it's like, oh, thanks a lot. I've just done all this pre-apprenticeship stuff. This is my passion. This is what I want to get into. So it's kind of ironic that when I was a young girl getting out of school, going straight to like TAFE College, that I wanted to be a sign writer, and now I get to fiddle with how graphics and text looks on screen. So it's kind of
for the mass.
It still has translated to the career I'm in now. But what I had to do between then and now to get here is that I couldn't get a job at sign writing. So Dad sent me to business college. He's like, you got to get a job because I didn't go to Year 12. So Dad's like, you got to go to business college. And well, we used to wag business college and go to the beach. So we were naughty girls. And so when the time came to, they used to do the typewriting tests, those old-fashioned ones where they put the cardboard over the keyboard and all that sort of crap. Wow. So the teacher would be handing out the test sheets and I would make a start before she said go. And so when I graduated from business college, I graduated with this brilliant score of you can type. Jenny Webber completed this course and she can type 60 words a minute or whatever it was. Well, that was a load of crap because I couldn't type at all. Right. So when I got my first job at an insurance broker, I quick smart had to learn how to type a letter because I'd been so naughty at business college. And then I wasn't cut out for that really. So then I
How long were you an insurance broker?
I was probably only there for like 12 months.
Oh, even still, that's enough to sort of understand the place.
So it's like a broker's PA type of thing.
Right.
And like we got on really great, but it just wasn't what I was into. So at the ripe old age of, I think I might have been 18, I went to the snow. I was passionate about the snow because I worked at the ski hire shop, Thursday night and Saturday mornings.
Where?
At Wind and Snow in Newcastle.
Right.
And so I went down the mountains to work for a year and for a season, and then I came out of there, came up to Queensland for a while. I was a bit sort of rebellious. Worked at Tara Holiday Village at Surfers Paradise, which used to be opposite Bombay Rock. I don't know if you remember there.
Yeah.
So that big resort opposite there, I was on reception there for a while.
Like Tiki Village.
Yeah, Tiki Village, whatever it was. Yeah, Tara Holiday Village. So I did that for a while, and then that sort of just went surfing, was right into surfing growing up and all that stuff. So
what suburb did you live in?
In Newcastle.
No, but if you was...
Oh, we lived above some shops at Mermaid Beach for like 3 months, and then sort of that was just sort of proving to Dad that I could leave home and make it, live somewhere else. So after we surfed every beach break from Mermaid down to Snapper and all the ones in between, we decided to go home to Newcastle and had to get a job. So for the first time ever, I was faced with being on the dole, which I'm proud to say I've only ever been on the dole for 2 weeks of my entire life, and that was then. And I saw a job on the wall for a typist at NBN Television. So I went along and Dad sort of said to me, because Dad was a pretty big name accountant in Newcastle and he knows everybody. And he's like, do you want me to help you get this job? And I said, no way. If I'm going to get the job, I want to get it by myself. And so I started out in publicity just typing stuff. And then I became a really good fast speed sort of typist and did all the publicity and helped design press ads for TV shows and press kits and all sorts of things. And then I started actually writing the continuity, and next on NBN is blah, 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 and stay watching next week for this program. So I started writing and producing those. And then I sort of couldn't go any further, and that's why when Expo 88 was on, I went up to Queensland and took a break from NBN, went overseas to Europe for 3 months, and that was funny in itself to get to that point because while I was at NBN, I was working at the ski hire shop Thursday night, Saturday mornings. I worked at NBN 5 days a week, and then on Saturday afternoons I worked in the newsroom, and I did live auto cue and for the news team, which means that you're actually feeding the paper through on a conveyor belt
what a stress.
to the 6 o'clock newsreader, and you got cans on your head. And the director's saying, we've dropped story number 3 and I've got the scissors out and the sticky tape and you're quickly putting it together and you're rolling it through. It's just full on stress.
So like in the movies, the funny movies where they'll mess with you.
Totally,
what a stress.
totally like that. And it was funny because I did that job because I wanted to go to Europe, and I used to get paid time and a half for a little 4-hour shift. And they used to let me come in late because I was so quick at typing by then that I could get it done quicker. So I worked all these massive jobs and did all that stuff. And when I realised I couldn't go any further at NBN, I went to Europe for 3 months. Met some great people that came from Brisbane. And I came up to Brisbane while Expo 88 was on and just fell in love with the place. The place is just buzzing where South Bank is now.
Yeah.
And I thought I needed to get away from a boyfriend that was not so good for me. Yeah. And so I just thought, bugger this, I'm going to leave NBN and I'm going to put my resume out there. Yeah. And then, I don't know why, but they just, they gave me a chance. And they were in between PAs in commercial production. So they gave me a go, and
PA, explain that. What's it?
Just like a personal production assistant
okay.
and a little receptionist, and that was a big deal at Channel 9 back then because they were looking after accounts like Woolworths, Chandler's, all the big names. There was a massive outfit, awesome post-production house up there, awesome studios, and then
much bigger than the Newcastle. Newcastle when you
Newcastle's pretty big.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it.
No, it's probably on the same level as far as size.
Especially back in those days.
Well, back in the days, we used to run telethons. We used to have studio shoots. We used to, at NBN, we started Surffest. We put surfing on the international calendar and used to run Sportsman of the Year awards and all sorts of amazing communities. Like NBN is an amazing place.
Well, that's what I say, because lots of big names from Sydney come from Newcastle. Yeah. So I can imagine their television, they would have done a lot. And you think of Brisbane in '88. Yeah. Like Expo started Brisbane, really.
It really did.
Like, so I remember.
Brisbane was just looked at as a little hick little town. Yeah. And honestly, the city that I've seen that grow into in 25 years is unbelievable. Yeah. But if ever I was to leave Nine and I wanted to stay in TV, the only place I would go back to would be NBN.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a cute story?
Yeah. Yeah. I really would, because I'm still passionate about that place. And, we had some great times back at that place. I remember I used to get sponsored because my dad used to work at Hankins, who used to make pinball machines and jukeboxes and pool tables and stuff.
Great.
So in the school holidays,
testing.
we used to go into Dad's work, and they had the big factory out the back, and they had all the doors open of all the pinnies. And so we became experts at this. So all the kids in the neighbourhood hated the Webbers because we were brilliant at the pinballs and all that stuff. And so much so that on a Friday night after NBN finished work, we'd have drinks in the boardroom, drive your car drinking, dreadful, go down to the pub, and I used to get sponsored people used to sponsor me because we reckon she can beat you, and on the pennies and Space Invaders and all those old Froggers and all those old silly old games. But those were the days back then. But and there's no long lunches like that anymore or any of that stuff. Like times have really changed since back then. Mm. But
these are my thoughts on technology, where it's gone different. It's actually let us do more, like because we're crazy about doing more things. The computers and technology has enabled us to actually do even more. Mm. Like, why would you go and get that graphic done when I know I could probably do it myself or do this and that? Mm. So it's, those long lunches are ridiculous now.
They are. They really are. Because there's just no budget anymore. Like, there seemed to be a lot of money back in those days. I don't know. But, technology has come a long way. So,
but still, you would have seen the old days before... when I say the old days, before mobile phones and when people knew where you were, you could leave the studio, leave a shoot and just go, we're having a long lunch, Breakfast Creek Hotel.
Yep. That's where we'll be.
Yeah, no one could contact you, so it was just like...
Hey, when I started Channel 9, people used to smoke in the studio. Everyone was smoking, and smoking was rife everywhere. And now, the smell didn't bother anyone. It was just how it was, and... But anyway, so I started at 9 in Brisbane, they realised I could write stuff. I was not too bad at writing stuff, and then they realised was not too bad at laying text out on the screen. And so they started including me in little things, and then they say, "Oh, we got this product. Can you write a script for it?" So I'd write the script, and then the directors would go out and do it. And then I think what happened was a couple